That will be a game right there. That's going to be a game. That will be for the region championship. Loudon at the current time, and maybe, I don't know if they're off tonight. I've not seen them grow on the ticker. I've not been paying attention the last little bit. You'll see Loudon and Kingston play. That will be for the region championship or the district or whatever they're calling it now. I don't have any idea. That will be for the championship and the #1 seed. So a Loudon team that, like I said, currently they're undefeated. Like I said, I don't know if they played tonight or not. They're probably like everybody else. They're off tonight too. So that will be for the #1 seed coming out of that region. So that game's right here on Channel 12. That game will be our game of the week, the OEB game of the week. And man, what a game! Brad Jones, good job picking that game. That's the way to get the magical ball and look into it and see Loudon and Kingston coming down probably, or one of them's probably 9-0 and the other one is 8-1. I mean, there ought to not be any seats open in Kingston that night. They ought to be on the fence and be pretty deep there. So that should be a fine football game right there coming up here in a couple of weeks, and that'll be the finale for BBB and OEB. So we'll get that. We'll have that game, and I look forward to seeing that game. Tell you what, let's do. Let's jump out and take our first commercial break, and we'll be right back here in just a couple minutes. Maybe my sidekick will be here. I believe he's pulling in now, maybe. And we'll jump out and take a break, and we'll be right back here on the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. We'll be right back here just in a few minutes. We'll be right back.
Many of our neighbors are living in fear of becoming sick or injured because they do not have health insurance or can't afford to go to the doctor. The Free Medical Clinic is solving that problem by providing free, no-charge primary care clinics in Oak Ridge, Harriman, and Briceville for residents in Anderson, Morgan, and Roane counties. But we don't accomplish this alone. There is no way we can create a better future for our community members by ourselves. It takes all of us. We thank each of our valuable partners in helping the Free Medical Clinic end the fear of those who can't afford medical care. On behalf of our thousands of patients, thank you.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Tennessee who take part in high school sports.
I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Welcome back to the free medical clinic Friday night scoreboard. Glad my co-pilot came in here. I don't know how much longer I was going to be awake for you get before I talked about Oak Ridge. So I know we got to talk about Oak. Hey, you know what they say? They say if you hang around long enough or stick around long enough, you'll see things that you've never seen before. I don't remember this ever. And I'm not going to tell you how old I don't care to tell you how old I am, but I'm not. I've never known Oak Ridge to have 6 losses. I'm sure they have at one point. Because Oak Ridge has never lost 7 games from what I'm being told, in the history of Oak Ridge football. They've never lost 7 games. Never. With DB coming in next week at Blankenship Field and Campbell County to follow, will there be a first and Oak Ridge lose their 7th ball game?
I think they could lose 8.
Well, I hadn't thought about 8 yet. I was thinking about 7.
I thought they could. I think they could lose 8. Delvin's Bennett's not real good, but I think they could possibly lose to DB, and then I think Campbell County's a better football team.
Listen, here's something and I listened to the commentators last night say this, and I tried to listen to Clary some, do both, and the kid from Carnes is the real deal. But Carnes will only go as far as he takes him, because it's sort of there's another kid that played really well last night too.
Yeah, he's good.
I can't remember his name. I believe he's number 6, maybe, something like that. So, but they'll only go as far as Bishop takes him. And I don't know how far he can take him. Yeah. It's a good-looking football team. They've got some size on their football team. They've got a kid that plays defensive end. I believe it's number 99. He's a big kid. I mean, he is huge.
Yeah,
he's tall. I think he's 6'5", maybe.
The sophomore that set up the first score last night for Bishop, he's a good football player.
Yeah, they've got a couple.
They got a couple, but it ain't a lot.
No, he's the main man.
Yeah.
I think their weakest point might be at quarterback. But ever who's at quarterback, it's sort of like you're just ever who gets the ball. He's either going to that number 6 is going to hand it off to Bishop, or he's going to keep it himself. They do throw the ball just a little bit, I guess just enough to keep you honest, and that's about it. But I would have to think the chair that I'm sitting in come next Wednesday will be really hot. I think this seat's hot. As a matter of fact, I might ought to get up and get out of it, because I don't want to get burnt myself. But I'm going to tell you, the boys on the Wednesday night show, I didn't get a chance to call in. I heard them, and I got busy, and before I know it, they're off. They said, was talking about me, they made a comment about me and Oak Ridge. And the problem that Oak Ridge has got right now, that Gaddis, he didn't take me to the state tournament with him last year, and he lost big time.
And he lost.
And he's barely creeped around this year and won a few games. And he used to put my picture up every Wednesday night, and that's honest truth, he did. And he's quit doing that, and he's on a losing streak right now. And I'm not coming in here and picking them anymore to win. And they've lost their lucky golden egg, being me. Whether he wants to admit it or not, I've been his lucky charm, and I'm off. I believe DB will roll next Friday night, and I wouldn't be shocked if they don't win by 14 or better.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have 8 losses and they're the 4th seed in the playoffs.
That's a shame to go from number 2 seed for sure, and then down to number 4.
But I'll tell you, I don't think that. Number one, Coach Gaddis went through an offensive coordinator change.
Yeah, man, that's something else we could talk about too.
And then he went to, and then he's got a new offense coordinator.
Yeah. But listen, he's got supposed to be one of the best running backs in the state of Tennessee. Okay, whether he is or not, I don't know.
He's not better than Bishop.
But he's probably not. But still, yet he's a good running back.
Yeah.
And the guys that were calling the game last night in the second half, Kendall Jackson run like a wild man. he was getting some big runs. He was knocking out 6, 7 yards. He was getting some good runs. And they asked this question, where was Kendall Jackson in the first half? Where was Kendall Jackson in the first half? The comment had been made by that coach that we are going to run the football. We're going to run the football. And they threw the football. And it got them beat. And they're going to continue to lose. Surely they won't go through a third offensive coordinator. But there's something bad going on at Oak Ridge right now in their football program. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a year.
They gave up 42 points to Carnes.
Well, and something else. The final score should not have been 42-35. And let me tell you why. The final touchdown Oak Ridge got should not have been I know we don't have a replay. If we'd have had a replay in high school football, and you coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all that stuff, Oak Ridge would have not scored because a kid stepped out of bounds before he scored. He stepped out back at the about the 8, 9, 10-yard line, somewhere right there, 7, something like that. So you would not have had a score. You would not have had a score last night, and the score would have been 42-28 or something like that, 42-28. But Oak Ridge jumped out to a fairly good sized lead, and then from that point on, it was Carnes.
Yeah, DB puts up 48-21 tonight against William Blount. I think that'd be a good football.
That might be the score next week.
I think it'd be a good football game, but I think I'm going with DB.
All right, let's get to it here. Quick caller, you're on there, and we have nothing out here. Hello. Wow. Nothing. Is everything plugged in? Hello. Goodbye. Hey, if you're on the phone and I'm supposedly talking to you, just call me back because I don't have anything online.
I know who it is.
You know who it is?
Yeah.
Call and tell them to call us back till we can figure it out here because. Okay, let's see. I'm going to hang up for them. Let's go to line 2 and just see if it works. Go ahead, caller. And that's not working neither. So, we don't have no phone. And I don't know why. I can go I know the speaker works because I heard them on the speaker when I punched it there just a minute ago. But it looks like everything's plugged in back here. It looks like everything is on that I can.
Nothing like live TV.
Nothing like live TV. You're exactly right.
Especially with two guys like me and you, right?
Yeah, like two guys like me and you that don't know nothing about it. And the man of all nights, people are just whacking us.
We got 4 calls.
We got them all ringing.
You got the speaker?
I guess we could. We'll have to try to see if we can play it out here. Let's see what the deal is. Let's go back to line 1 here and just see. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Okay, they don't want to talk neither.
I know who that is. They can't hear us.
They can't hear us?
That's what he said. He said, I can't hear them.
Okay, so we got some internal problems here going on.
I'll tell you what, let's do this.
Let's take a break.
Yeah, Chandler. We'll take a quick
see if you can figure it out
commercial break, and we will be right back, and we will take phone calls. We got them blowing us up in here. Don't worry about it, Chandler. Don't answer. I know who it is.
Yeah, just let it go.
To be honest, I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine.
I checked what the CDC says and spoke with my doctor about the potential side effects. It definitely made me much less anxious. She told me if I have some arm pain or feel tired, that's completely normal as my body builds a defense to the virus.
I was willing to take the vaccine to protect me, my family, and my friends.
Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Beautiful yards make a statement, and beautiful yards come from Simplicity Mowers. Their exclusive free-floating mower decks with full-width rollers track the contours of your yard for a perfect cut. So visit your neighborhood Simplicity dealer today and start the conversation about your lawn. Simplicity, the way to a beautiful lawn.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Oh, I think we're good. We're on the air.
Oh, we are? Sorry. I don't know if we're good or not.
Yes, we're good.
We'll see.
This is classic.
No, I don't have no dial tone over here.
Oh,
man.
you don't?
You got one?
Yeah, I got dial tone.
You got dial tone? I don't have nothing, man.
Plugged in the wrong, because you have to plug those in.
All right, I can hear now.
All right, we're good.
All right, here we go. We'll try it now and see. Almighty. All right, folks, sorry. We had some difficulties there, so we'll see. Yeah, I can hear now. Let's see here. Let's try it. Go ahead, caller. You on the air?
Can you tell me who won the Olive Springs game?
Oliver Springs was up 14-7.
That's the last score I heard.
That's the last score I heard, and I will go ahead.
I've not seen it.
And I did hear that there was 2 players from Oakdale ejected on 5 personal fouls.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So if you went to the game, we'd love to hear some information on
We'd love
that.
to hear some.
Well, I didn't go to the game because I had a family member. I was wondering who won it too.
Yeah, I'll get you a score, okay? Keep watching. It was 14-7 in last time I heard.
Keep watching. As soon as we get it, we'll let you know, okay? All right, thanks, man. Go ahead, caller, you're on there.
Hey, Queener, did I break your phone, man?
Somebody did.
Well, hey, hang with those glasses, man. You'll get used to them.
All right.
Hang there, you'll get used to them. It's a little bit of an adjustment. You'll get there, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Hey, you know, you talking about that Oak Ridge game. You know, Carnes had the ball like at the 1 yard line just for the half. That made it 49-28. But you know, I see this Oak Ridge thing maybe a little different because I watched the Bearden game that you all covered, and then I was at the Clinton game, and you know, Clinton really physically was pushing them around until about halfway through the third quarter. That game, a couple of breaks, could have been 21-0 Clinton. in the third quarter. So I think Oak Ridge looks better to me. I mean, I think they've improved, but now they got to get that running back. You're right, looked really good in the second half there. He was running hard, and the commentators noticed that last night. I think Oak Ridge is getting better, but they got to get that ball to that running back.
Yeah, I think they've got to. I agree with you, Doc. They got to run the ball just a little bit. If not, they're going to be in trouble. Like I said, last night he was. I don't. It's like he wasn't even at the game. I know he was at the game because he's playing defense. So Jackson was a spy on Bishop last night on the defensive side of the football, and that's who he was keying on and going with him. But they didn't run him very much in the first half. And if me and you are catching that and picking that up, and the commentators are picking that up, you have to wonder what the coaches on the field and then the box are seeing. They've got to be seeing something different than we're seeing, but that's what I see anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm a Clinton guy too, and I think we'd have to beat Carnes to get in the playoffs, and that Bishop guy looks pretty tough. I think that's going to be a tall order.
Absolutely. Anytime you're in a situation where you got to go against the best player on the field, it's always tough.
It is.
It's always tough.
It's always tough. It sure
That's why
is.
Clinton's got a good chance to win football games when their quarterback's 100% healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, he can score at any time.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate what you guys do, man. We enjoy seeing the coverage of Rockwood and Harriman and Kingston. That game, Kingston looked good tonight, and these games, and Rockwood and Harriman and Kingston and Midway, those things are so not well matched, and they're really good that you give coverage to these local schools, and that's a real service to the community and those kids, and we appreciate you guys doing that. The Sentinel a few years ago really cut down their high school sports coverage, and there was just a kind of a big gap in the coverage, but it's at least locally, it's good that you guys do it. We appreciate and enjoy watching you guys every Friday night.
All right, thanks, Doc. Appreciate it.
See ya.
I'll tell you something before you go to the next caller.
Go ahead.
Greenback beats Harriman in overtime, 38-36.
Wow.
And
people thought Harriman might get that game tonight.
Yeah, and 30-7 Oz over Oakdale.
30-7.
30-7.
There must have been some fights.
Two people were definitely ejected from the game. I did read that earlier. Okay. Go ahead.
Quick caller, you on the air.
How you doing there, Queen and Rock?
How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing, man?
Doing good. I bet I was the one that broke that phone when I called in.
You might have, man. We had some problems here for a few minutes. It went haywire, but Chandler got it fixed here. He figured it all out, so we're good. We're good to go.
Luckily, Chandler's here, not Brad. We wouldn't be on the air.
Yeah, we still wouldn't be on air if Brad's here. We'd still be out here fumbling around. So.
It was a big Rockwood win tonight, wasn't it?
Sure was, man. It's a big Rockwood win tonight. We'll see how it all plays out coming down the stretch here with Rockwood and see where everything, when it's all said and done, where they wind up. So we got to play these last two games, and we'll get it all worked out for Rockwood, see where Coach Webb's Tigers fall in there. They'll fall in somewhere.
Anybody know that Oneida score?
No, I'll get it for you, though.
We'll get it. Just keep listening. We'll tell you, okay?
Okay.
Right,
y'all gonna talk Tennessee after a while about 11 or after?
Yeah, we sure will.
Yep. All right. Appreciate what you guys are doing.
See you, man. Thank you. Quick caller, you on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Am I live?
Yeah, you're live.
This is Jonathan out of Knoxville. Long-time listener, first-time caller, love the show. I just want to give a shout-out to Rob Black with his 100th win at Fulton tonight up in Scott County. And I'd also like to get your thoughts on the anticipated matchup between Fulton and Carter here in a few weeks to decide the 3 seed in the region. I'll hang up, listen to your comments.
Thank you, caller. Well, the ball man there has actually probably been a part of 20 or 30 of those wins. That just called in, but 100 wins for a football coach is pretty impressive.
It's big.
Coach Black's going to call us tonight when he gets service and gets back on this side of
the mountain.
Yeah, of the mountain. So he said he'd give us a call around 10:45. But I mean, obviously, you've been around Rob Black for a long time, so I'll let you start off.
Well, he's a good guy, man. There's not a better individual, than Rob Black. I mean, just the whole Black family in general, to what that family means to Fulton High School and everything that they've done over there. And Robbie's done he's done a really good job at Fulton. How many state championships he got?
3.
3. I mean,
3-peat.
He's one of the best, man. He's one of the best.
I say this about Coach Black, and people would probably blow our phones up when I say this, but George Quarles obviously is just a dominant football coach. But could a guy like George Quarles come win at Fulton? Could a guy like George Quarles win at an Austin East? And one thing I could say is Rob Black could win a lot of places. Like he can coach any type kid. Now I'm not saying George Quarles can't coach anybody, but would he be as dominant?
I get what you're saying.
Would he be as dominant? It's not always easy, as people think it is. Coaching at Fulton. There's a lot more to it than just the X's and the O's and rolling the ball out. And I think those kids.
There's a lot that goes into coaching Fulton High School.
And I think the thing about those kids that impressed me the most about Rob Black is how much they know he cares about them. And that's why his teams play hard. And he's definitely, there's a lot of other intangibles and a lot of other strengths out of Rob Black outside of 100 football wins.
Sure, he's just an outstanding guy as far as I'm concerned.
Drives the bus.
He does.
Keeps the score for boys and girls.
He does everything. He does a little bit of everything at Fulton. He's a Fulton guy inside and out. I mean, he bleeds Fulton.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people at Fulton that bleed Fulton, but he is one that really, he's a Fulton guy. He played there. He went off to college and he came back there. There's not a better individual than Robbie Black and his family. I mean, he's from a great family too. So he's a fine football coach. I'd put him in the tops.
Oh, he's in the top for sure.
He's in the tops. Not to slide on any other coach. There's a lot of great coaches out here, but Robbie Black's he's really a good football coach, and it's been a privilege for me just to know him and be around him.
Yeah.
He's probably made me a better person, and I just don't realize it. I'm being just honest about that. I think the world of Robbie. He's a good guy.
Yeah, and if you look at the success that's went on around East Tennessee, and you've got private school success. CAK had 2 or 3 years of fame. Grace won a lot of ball games, never played for a state championship. Catholic had a couple years. Those are private schools. And then you go to the open enrollment schools. They've had, the Alcoa, the Maryville, and Oak Ridge. The open enrollment had success. But if you look at the amount of success he's had in just the true public sector without open enrollment or private, I mean, he's been as good, if not better than anybody.
You mentioned one team that it came down sometimes Fulton and Catholic. The winner of that game probably wins state championship.
Yeah.
And that sort of happened.
Several times that's happened.
Did Robbie dodge Alcoa and Maryville? Definitely not. He played both of them. Maybe towards the end, Alcoa didn't want to play him sometimes.
That's why they're not playing.
That's why they're not playing. They didn't want to play.
They want to play when it was convenient.
They want to play when it's convenient.
Yeah.
So, everybody wants to play when you're down a little bit. So, but Rob Black's done an excellent job at Fulton. And
but I had a guy tell me that today. Went to Carson Robbie, and he was like, if you just think about the public schools, he said, I don't even look at Oak Ridge, Alcoa, and Maryville that way because it's just open enrollment. You can bring you can pay money and show up there.
That's true.
He said, so it's different. If you really look at just the public schools, who's had more success consistently than Fulton and Rob Black?
He's had a lot.
For a long time.
Good, Tommy, come here.
Well, Cleaner, what do you say? It's your boy.
What's that, caller?
I come to you a humbled man. It's your favorite Oak Ridge fan.
Oh, you called after a loss.
And I come to you a humbled man.
Oh, you come to us a humble man.
By all means, if you want to hammer me, I deserve it. There's been a lot of I'll say this much, because I don't want to get in trouble, but there's been a lot of stuff going on within Oak Ridge football, so we'll see what happens.
Inside the locker room, is that what you're saying?
There's been a lot of stuff happening within the Oak Ridge football team. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, and this is pretty much public knowledge, so this is no secret. But at the beginning of the season, we played a lot of tough games. The biggest issue was our offense. That's what everyone said. Well, the offensive coordinator left after the Powell game, and it looked like we were making progress during Greenville. Even though Greenville walked all over us, our offense still is making progress. And unfortunately, our defense just gave up a lot of points, and our offense kept us in the game. So, yeah, it's a very demoralizing loss for Oak Ridge fans. I've talked to a bunch today, parents, fans in general, and everyone's frustrated and not happy.
Understandable.
And, yep, first loss since 1985 to Carnes. So, yep, not a good thing. Not looking good for us.
Carnes had the best player on the field.
Carnes has the best running back in the nation on the field.
No, he's not the best running back in the nation.
Yardage-wise, he is the leading rusher in the entire nation, yardage-wise.
Yeah, but you can't go over that because you go to Georgia and Florida, look at some of the talent some of these five-star running backs are playing. It's hard to say he's the best running back in the nation. Let's say he's leading the nation in rushing.
Fair enough. Those are some impressive stats. So, but yep, no one is. There's a lot of drama going on right now. So I don't think it's any secret that we'll see some changes here pretty soon.
Wow. Go support your team next Friday night against DB.
Absolutely. We'll support no matter what. And at the end of the day, we went to state last year. So we'll just run it back off last year. Right, Cox?
Whatever you say, man. I'm sure you'll be ready for some basketball soon. You are a basketball school now.
I'm already ready. We'll bring back Hayward and Tarwater for basketball. So hope you're ready. All right.
Man, when all you got last year to live on, you ain't got much.
Not when you're an Oak Ridge fan. Hey,
I should have asked him this question because I'm told this. I'm told the fans at the end of last year were mad at the offensive coordinator from last year. The one that left.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't leave. I think he's on the
defense side now.
So, how's that working out for you, Oak Ridge? How's that working out for you? That's a question I got that. How's that working out? It's not working out too good, is it? Go ahead, Connor, you on there.
Yes, I heard Hot Springs won. Could you tell me who won the Cofield game?
Did Cofield play tonight? I'm not going to see a score. I did find out 09.
Cofield off. They're off.
Cofield was off.
Yep.
And I know Oneida played a good team, but I know the score about Oneida.
Oneida won 20-13 over Monterey.
Who won the Midway game?
I don't think.
Midway off as well.
Midway might have been off tonight.
We're getting caught up here. We'll let you know. We'll announce the score. But I think Midway, I don't remember seeing a Midway score. But I do know Oneida won.
Hot Springs plays Cofield tomorrow on the 22nd of October. Come on down.
All right. See, man. Hey, Monterey might have been leading that region.
I think they were. If they weren't, they were second behind York.
I think York was on down like third or fourth.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing that I'll say, and the caller got on me, text me. They want to know what we thought about the Carter-Fulton game.
Oh yeah, he did. He did. I'm
And-
sorry. We got off on something else there.
No, and here's what I'll say. I think Fulton is a better football team. However, I did watch a little bit of the Fulton game tonight. They had 2 starters not there.
Fulton did?
Yes. I don't know. They're not even there. I'm not talking like not dressed. I'm talking in Knoxville. So without one of those, who's the starting running back, those 2 games against Farragut and Carter become a lot closer.
Well,
I still think Fulton wins that Carter game after watching Gibbs play and knowing how bad Anderson County beat Carter. I still think they win the football game.
I've not been impressed with Carter.
Yeah.
Period.
You got to win the Carter game. The loser of the Carter Fulton game goes to Greenville. The winner goes to Elizabethan. The winner could go into Elizabethan and upset them.
All right.
They have that. I mean, I think they got a chance to. You don't want to go to Greenville.
No.
Sorry.
Sure don't.
I wanted to answer the question that the gentleman asked.
He did ask and we didn't answer. We moved on to something else real quick like there. So let's grab a line. You're going to call you on the air.
Yes, I was listening to a guy there about Oak Ridge. I've been an Oak Ridge fan since 1947, and they got beat last Thursday night by a better team, and that's all I wanted to say.
Caller, you've been watching a long time. I'm gonna ask you a question. Did you ever think you'd see a Carnes team better than an Oak Ridge team?
Thursday night they were, yeah.
No. I'm saying you've been watching for that long. In your years of just looking back, did you ever think it would come a day and time that Carnes was a better football team?
No, I wouldn't. I sure wouldn't. But they come on strong. They got 2 of the backfield men is as good as I've seen in a long time together.
You're right.
Yeah.
Thanks, caller. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
And Midway beat Sunbright, by the way.
Okay, Midway beat Sunbright. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Hello. 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 Goodbye. All right.
Okay, so let me give you a rundown here of what's going on, because I know people are wondering and trying to figure it out. Monterey, Oneida, and Rockwood all have 1 loss in the region.
They're all right there, like bang, bang,
Yes.
bang. Yeah.
Monterey, Oneida, and Rockwood. If Rockwood beats York and Monterey beats Wartburg in 2 weeks, there will be a 3-way tie. I don't know how that 3-way tie will be broken, but I do know that would be the case. If Rockwood beats York and Monterey beats Wartburg, you will have a 3-way tie between Monterey, Oneida, and Rockwood.
All right. So Monterey's been leading the region
till tonight. And they get beat by Oneida. Oneida might be coming into their own here. New coach.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Folks, 483-8112. You've not had trouble with the number so far tonight, so continue on to call us. We'll be more than glad to talk to you. We'll give you an answer even if we don't know it. Now, we'll try to give you an honest answer, but, there's a caller. What did he say, 1947?
Yeah.
Man, he's been watching Oak Ridge football for a long time. And his exact comments were, well, first of all, he said last night Carnes was the better football team. I agree with him. But he never thought he'd see a Carnes football team better than Oak Ridge.
Okay, so here, I'll finish here. The tiebreakers, here's how this works. Rockwood would automatically fall to the 3 seed because of overall record.
All right.
Oneida gets the 1 because they beat Monterey head-to-head.
Head-to-head.
So that's weird. So what they're saying is you would take the overall record and remove Rockwood and then go back to head-to-head?
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like to me. Hey, let me ask you a question. And we've not talked, yeah, maybe we have. I know we've talked about teams that have not played, or some teams we thought maybe had just done this because of COVID.
Yeah.
We're getting down to nitty-gritty time here. There's not been a lot of games that, if you really look at overall games that's got COVID, man, would you not, if you was the head football coach, let's just say you're Panky right now at Kingston, would you not be worried about that just a little bit? That COVID comes through and gets a hold of your team right at playoff time, and you've had a year like you've not had. I mean, in a while. I mean, Kingston's they're on a roll right now. I would be worried about that.
I think it's always in the back of your mind, but you can only worry about what you can control at this point in the season.
Well, I would be taking some measures. I'd be putting some stuff on my football team. Maybe, practice, school, home. Don't be out.
I could get a kid to call, and he goes online. During football season, he goes virtual. And that's still an option for Maryville schools. Like, he's virtual till state tournament's over.
I understand. I think KC, all of them did it last year.
Last year they did.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Big Anderson County fan here.
How you doing, big AC fan?
Big Anderson County fan. So listen, I got a question I've been keeping up over the years, and I'll hang up after I ask this question and hear what y'all have to say about it. But it seems like every year the Mavericks, they make a good run in the regular season, then when they get to Greenville, that's the end of it for them. We gonna get over the hump this year, or Ben Downs going to be able to motivate those kids to get them to that state championship? And I'll hang up and listen.
Well, if Ben Downs is left in charge of motivating the football team, we're in trouble.
Well, I'm going to be honest, and you might disagree with me, and I don't think you will. I don't think Anderson County gets over Greenville this year.
And I don't know. I'm going to answer this two ways, because I'm not sure if he's asking what they do to get over the hump or if they'll get over the hump this year.
I took it to, will they get over the hump this year?
I don't think no, not this year. They don't have a quarterback. Their quarterback's broken hand.
I don't think they'd get over the hump if they had a quarterback.
And if he's an AC fan, which I'm sure he is, because they're all wanting to know the same, the answers to the same question, is Martinez possibly available in the quarterfinals? I mean, he got hurt, week 6? He did week 5, week 6. Is he back in 6 weeks, or is he back next year?
That's a really good question, and I don't know anything about his injury other than I've been told, and I could have been told wrong. I understand it's his throwing hand, it's a bone in the throwing hand.
I heard that, and I heard 10 weeks at first, but
right, and then I've heard that there's a possibility he could be back in maybe 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Younger people do heal a little bit faster and a little bit better than us older folks do here. So I'll tell you that. So I don't know. I just wonder this, without knowing exactly where the injury's at. It don't really matter if it's on the hand. If you're throwing and you was to hit somebody or get hit or hit a helmet,
can you re-injure it?
Can you re-injure it? I'm sure there's a possibility for that. There has to be.
Yeah.
If you've injured it once, could you do it if not letting it fully heal and taking a chance to come back to try to win one game? In fact, one game was to beat Greenville and you did, then it would be worth all the chances you were taking probably if you're just talking your hand. But I don't know, Cox. I just don't think. And I listened. I heard a coach say, and I don't care to tell you who the coach was. He said that Greenville could win 4A or 5A. And here's what I said earlier before you got here. Coach Gaddis is the one that said this. He said they could win 4 or 5A. Well, they're not playing in 5A. They're playing in 4A. So they're going to win. Everybody's picking them. I think they're the hands-down favorite right now for 4A. Hands down.
They might be the best team in the area.
Now, wait a minute. Could COVID get them? Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Their team, I'd be worried to death about that.
I think, as crazy as this sounds, Greenville is more athletic. I'm not saying they're better. They're more athletic at the skill position than it was when Ballard was there.
Wow, that's saying something big, because he was pretty good.
Well, and the quarterback would be the weaker link, of the athletic.
Yeah.
But you look at the running backs. And overall, the running backs and the wide receivers. And that's what the kid from Central said. You watch them on film, they look like a bunch of athletes that are soft and can't play football. But then all of a sudden you get out there and you play against them and you're like, whoa. They're faster, they're quicker, and they're more athletic than they look. I mean, they've got 3 kids starting that can play Division I basketball or football right now. 2 of them can go either way. And, you know, that's pretty good. Now, I don't think they're as good up front, but I think in the skilled position, I mean, Ballard was special, but in the skilled position right now, they're as good, if not better, than they were then.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, that's coaches telling me that. I mean, that's 4A coaches that are possibly going to have to play them that will tell you they're not as dominant up front, but by golly, they're as athletic and explosive as they were back then.
Well, like I said, everybody's saying they're pretty good. They could win 4 or 5A, and I've heard some people.
I'm not sure they couldn't win 6.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I've heard a couple people say they thought they could compete with Maryville and Alcoa. I'd love, and I made the comment back, I would love to see them play Alcoa or Maryville. Either one, just, I would go, that'd be a game I'd pay to go see. Quick caller, you're on the air. Hello. Well, it went away. Quick caller, you're on the air.
So, someone texted me saying you had a question for me about the offensive coordinator.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, to answer your question, because someone told me about it, we've lost all of our. So from the state team, we've returned 4 starters, and in the off season, we had 4 projected starters that left the team due to life or academics. With that being said, I think a lot of it has to do with the top of the food chain for Oak Ridge politics, because Dr. Borchers will not let Coach Gaddis bring in his coaches, because this is pretty much public knowledge, but Borchers promised Gaddis some coaches, and he lied. And unfortunately, this isn't a bad thing. For Oak Ridge, you have to be a teacher first, coach second. A lot of Knoxville schools do that in reverse. Coach second.
No, absolutely wrong.
Okay.
Absolutely wrong. Knox County would be the last county/school system that would say coach first, teacher second. That is absolutely incorrect. Now, if you want to go outside of Knox County and start looking around, you can make some true statements, but not in Knox County. You've got coaches.
I was wrong about the Knox County. Go ahead.
You got coaches in Campbell County and other places that have been offered jobs in Knox County, and they will not go due to the lack of supplement and knowing they'll have to teach classes.
Okay. All right. So I was wrong about the Knox County part.
Yeah.
We're probably thinking of some other schools. But Oak Ridge is a heavy academic school, and Dr. Borchers will not let Coach Gaddis bring in coaches that he wants to bring in. He only has... Now, the other coaches are great on staff. Don't get me wrong. He loves those guys. Loves them to death. But when he was originally hired, when he came back, he was promised he can bring 3 coaches to him. He was only able to bring 1. And that's one of the reasons why Coach Blade left. Coach Blade wasn't allowed to bring anyone he could.
I heard that.
Say what?
Except Rosser. Yes, I heard the only person he got to bring with him was Coach Rosser at that point in time.
Yeah, and that's one of the many reasons why Coach Blade left, is he couldn't bring his own coaching staff. So I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of Oak Ridge politics and the fact that one of our starters from last season is a walk-on at UT, and Jackson Adams, who was a stud for us, played offense and defense. He was a horse for us. So I think with the lack of depth, because we have a lot of guys playing both sides of the ball, and you saw it. We were winning that game 21-7. I mean, they were better on the scoreboard, but I do not agree they were the better team. We were winning 21-7, but unfortunately, due to graduation tolls, and we had 4 projected linemen that were going to be starters leave due to personal reasons or academics, we didn't have enough depth. We have 4 college prospects on that team: Zaw Hunley, Elijah Rogers, two West transfers, Kendall Jackson, Brendan Haywood, SEC offers all over the place. They're playing both sides of the ball. Kendall Jackson playing defense, Brendan Hayward playing defense. Those names I just mentioned, they're playing defense. And as you saw, everyone got tired. They're exhausted.
Hey, caller, we love you, but we think we got a coach on hold. Call us right back, because I want to ask you about a couple transfers from West.
Go ahead.
Quick caller, you're here.
Hey, good. How are you?
Hey, Robbo. Congratulations tonight on a big 100, buddy.
Thank you, Dave, buddy. I appreciate it.
Coach, Give us a little history for everyone who watched our show. How long have you been at Fulton High School?
Well, this is 30 years, coaching there. Now I'm in my 11th year as the head coach, and I want to say this, 100 wins is shared with so many people. Just great coaches, great players, so many good people support me and around me, and so I truly believe that in this game, to accomplish something like that, it's never on your own, and I'm well aware of that.
Well, if you can do that, I'm not a mathematician. I sell toilet paper, but I can tell you 11 years and 100 wins is pretty good.
It sure is, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, I've truly been blessed with really good players. And I'm on a bus right now, and I've had some guys that are playing in college, that have college football games tomorrow that, have texted me tonight, and that's what it's all about, man. Just trying to help make a difference in the lives of these young people, and so the blessing is truly mine.
Hey, to speak on the Fulton family, Coach, out of those 11 years you've been, how many of those guys have been a part of all 100 of those wins on your coaching staff? Is it easy to say 5 or 6 people?
Oh yeah, at least 6, maybe 7 of those guys.
Okay.
That have been around for a long time. And guys that have stuck by me, and guys that are very talented, very good coaches, very good men. And so for them to hang with me, man, is special. And you know what it's like in Fulton. I mean, it's a true family thing, and when you become a part of it, man, you're always a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Coach, do you all play Farragut at home next week and then end with Carter?
Yeah. So there's our next 2. We're at home, for our next 2. So Farragut will come in here next Friday, and then we end the regular season with Carter after that.
I got you. Now, who played well for you tonight? I know Marcellus had a couple long runs when I was watching on YouTube, but talk about a few of those guys.
Yeah, I thought we had a really good night up front tonight. We challenged those guys during the week, and, Cam Stokes, Seth Vaughn, some of those guys up front, Keenan Bond, really did a good job. Marmar, I think, will tell you, he has some pretty good holes to run through, and those things don't just happen unless those big guys up front are getting work done. And I have to mention Dre Peebles. Dre, I think he caught a touchdown pass, and I had a couple of runs there, had a big long return as well. So Dre played really well, just like Marmar did.
Did I hear that somebody might have broken a collarbone there early in the first half?
Yeah, we had Damian McDowell got to start his first start for us at tailback, and on his first touchdown, I think he just kind of landed wrong, and not sure the extent of the injury, but it's a collarbone injury, so we'll kind of get him checked out in the morning and see what we're dealing with.
Well, you got a lot of people watching out. They've been texting, and I'll say this again: if you had a better ball man, you'd be a couple touchdowns better.
Well, we're working on that. A lot of people have ball boys. I've got a ball man, and I just got a little bit more work to do. But we're gonna get him there.
Hey, Robbie, once again, congratulations, man. Couldn't be more happier for you. Couldn't happen to a better guy, and I hope you get another 100.
Well, I appreciate that very much. Thanks.
Love you, Coach.
And love you guys. Man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Congratulations, Robbie.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Coach Robbie Blackfoot, man, a really good guys we've talked about before. I mean, he's a super guy. So, quick caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I was listening to the guy, the coach or whatever he was, about Oak Ridge. Well, I think I'm as big a fan as there ever was at Oak Ridge. I've lived it all my life. And I'm telling you right now, I can look at when they scored that 3rd touchdown. And when they did, they got a little bit high up at it. I can tell them looking. I can run off the field and stuff. I can tell them through a teeth.
Well, you've watched it long enough, that's for sure. So you probably do know.
Sure. I'm telling you, I can tell. All
right. And
they thought they had it locked up right then, and they locked themselves out the door.
I heard that.
And I love them to death, and I will pull for them the rest of my life. And I think they need to keep their mind on the game.
All right. We appreciate you calling back, man. You call anytime, okay?
Okay, thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you very much. And a caller like that that's got a lot of knowledge, man, it's hard to beat. I mean, hey, let's jump out and take another break, and we'll be right back here just in a couple minutes on the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard.
Many of our neighbors are living in fear of becoming sick or injured because they do not have health insurance or can't afford to go to the doctor. The Free Medical Clinic is solving that problem by providing free, no-charge primary care clinics in Oak Ridge, Harriman, and Briceville for residents in Anderson, Morgan, and Roane counties. But we don't accomplish this alone. There is no way we can create a better future for our community members by ourselves. It takes all of us. We thank each of our valuable partners in helping the Free Medical Clinic end the fear of those who can't afford medical care. On behalf of our thousands of patients, thank you.
You call your agent with a simple question, only to get sent to voicemail again. We pick up the phone. Did you get this? Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? Like I said, we pick up the phone because it's ringing. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Hello, this is Sam.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
And welcome back to the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. And, man, sort of a wild night there. We've had a guy that calls here from Oak Ridge. I don't mean he's wild. He just got a lot of knowledge and has been very helpful to us tonight on telling us a few things that, you know, he's been watching Oak Ridge football, he said, since 1947. That's a long time. So he's been watching for quite a while. And he gave his 2 cents in on it, and he said he thought after they jumped out 21-0, they sort of lost it at that point. That was his.
Blade won a state championship in 2015 with Independence, and in 2016 he was a runner-up.
Yeah, but
So that's after he left Oak Ridge.
yeah. So go back before he came to Oak Ridge.
I'll figure that out.
He's a cool guy, though, man. He's a good dude. I'm not saying he ought to come back here. Probably wouldn't. I don't blame him.
Quick, caller, you're on the air.
All right. So, what was your question about the West transfer?
How many more times is this guy going to call in tonight? I didn't tell him nothing.
Okay, so I did. I told him to call back. And here's my question for you. Is there any scuttle or rumble around some of these transfers not being eligible?
I don't understand the question. What do you mean? Are you asking if they're eligible? Because they're eligible.
Okay, they're 100% eligible and everything's good. They're living where they claim to live and everything's good.
They are. I've seen them. I've been around them. They live in Oak Ridge 100%.
That's good. I got a text on Monday saying that it could get ugly.
I don't know who sent that text, but I've been around it. I don't know those boys personally, but I know for a fact that they live in Oak Ridge 100%.
Good. Because, see, if Clinton is on this and they have to forfeit the Clinton game, Clinton gets in the playoffs, Oak Ridge does it.
What? I just heard about this. What's going on about Clinton? What?
So, all right, Carl, have a good night, buddy. We've talked to you 3 times. Go Vols.
Hey.
He ain't right.
No.
He knows about as much about the situation as I do, and I don't even know nothing about it.
That's, yeah. But anyway,
like I said when we opened the show up, hang around long enough, you'll see something you've never seen before. We might see Oak Ridge lose their 7th. Hillsboro. There you
Hillsboro.
Go. I told you was someplace before you came here.
So did he win a state championship at Hillsboro? He beat Maryville. At Hillsboro, he beat Maryville.
Don't remember that. I think it's.
Yeah, against Maryville, right?
Maybe it was. I don't know. But I know he just came from down there.
Yeah.
So,
So the Rockwood,
Oneida, and Monterey.
That's an interesting deal.
Situation.
Rockwood's going to screw up and cost himself the 1 seed because of that loss at home to Monterey.
Yes. Yep. But everybody was saying, and I say everybody was saying that Monterey was the real deal, was a really good football team. I don't know whether Monterey's the real deal or not. I've not seen them play, so I have no idea. We depend on other people to tell us a lot of things around here on Friday night, and we just go off what they're telling us. And it looked like, standing-wise, they are the real deal. And, maybe Oneida's the real deal.
Oneida struggled.
Would I be shocked if Monterey went to Oneida tonight and lost? No. I wouldn't be shocked if whoever went to Oneida tonight and lost. It's hard to go up there and win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just that type of football. That's just, I wouldn't be shocked at that. So, Lambert might have came by tonight and gave a little speech and then went on to Cumberland. As far as we know, he could have. So, who knows? But
as the season unfolds here, we've got some interesting things. Anderson County's already clinched. So they will be at home for the 1st and 2nd round and will travel. If they win, they would travel to Greenville for round 3. I think Anderson County plays Bearden and Scott County. That's what they got left.
Right, so they should win both of those. Well, the Bearden game.
Interesting game.
It'd be an interesting game.
Bearden's got a good defense.
Yeah, they could see some trouble there. I don't know that they will. Scott County game, I think that's really a winnable game for them. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got the development of Campbell County, Karnes, Oak Ridge.
Yeah, all Campbell County is doing is coming here. Now, what you have just said about maybe ineligible stuff, I don't know nothing. I've not heard anything about that. Yeah. I'm not saying it's true, not true. I don't know. But all that Oak Ridge and Campbell County's playing for is whether it be 3rd or 4th, 3 or 4. That's all they're playing for.
That's all they're playing for.
Powell's
got 1.
There's
Karnes has 2.
Karnes has 2. Oak Ridge and Campbell County both. It don't really matter. They're both on the road to wherever, and who knows?
Well, they're on the loser of that game will go to Ray County.
Okay.
So the 4 seed.
Where does the 3 seed go?
The 3 seed.
Walker Valley or something like that.
I'm not sure if it's Walker
Valley.
Valley.
So you don't know. So it don't really matter. You got to go there anyway. So
you want to be the 3.
Yeah.
Ray County, obviously.
Yeah, I would
beat
take
AC.
the 3. So that's what's being left to play for. The only way Clinton could get in is if something did happen and there was something that went on, and I don't see that happening. So that's me.
Yeah, Clinton is eliminated from the playoffs.
They're done. They're eliminated. But I'm going to tell you something, and I might have said this last week. That game last night eliminated. I think Clinton's right where I thought they would be. I thought Clinton would finish the year out at 5-5. I thought Clinton would be 5-5. I thought better than 5-5 would be 6-4, and probably make it to the playoffs at 6-4. So Clinton has got 2 games left. They've got Gibbs and they've got Carnes. Gibbs, I think they've got a chance.
I think they'll win.
I think they've got a chance that game. The Carnes game, Clinton's defense has played pretty good this year. That could be a game that's 60-something to 50-something. The way Clinton has put points on the board here recently, that could be a high-scoring game. I mean, that could be a high-scoring game.
Unless you are trying to get Bishop Mr. Football or a state rushing record or anything like that, I would say his workload against Clinton goes down.
I think they run him like
You've got to have him in the playoffs.
Well, that's what I said. I think they run him like the Dickens in the first half, and hoping they've got a big enough lead that they don't have to use him in the third and fourth quarter.
2 weeks ago at Webb, I forget who they played, and he just, I said, buddy, you all right? He said, no, I'm beat up. I forget who it was. He didn't have many yards in the second half, but he was just.
I think he had 250-some yards last night or something like that.
Yeah.
Oak Ridge had held him in check in the first half pretty much. Man, he just – and here, you know what's coming. With Carnes, you know what's coming, but you just can't stop it. And Oak Ridge had a spy on him all night. Kendall Jackson was his spy man. He spied him all night last night. Or that's what I took he was doing. That's what I understood him be doing from what I could see on the film.
I just don't know how you stop him. I think it's a containment deal. You can't stop him.
He doesn't have blazing speed. He's just got good speed.
He's got good speed.
He's got good. He knows how to. He leans forward. He can see. He's boom boom.
But he's got a burst.
He's got just a burst, and that burst is just enough. I mean, he's not going to be that guy that's going to set the world on fire in 100 to get clocked in. But he's probably going to put up a really good time though. But he's the type. The question being asked last night, is he an SEC football? Is he a SEC caliber back?
Yeah, because he can catch the ball.
Well, then he's an SEC caliber back.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he can do it. I think he is.
That's what it comes down to.
I think he is too. If you look at what Tennessee's running backs are, they're not very big. And I understand Tennessee's got a running back at 6'5", but ain't been on the. And everybody thought he'd be on the field, and he's not made it yet for some reason.
Man, Brainerd beat Sweetwater 36-0. Sleepy. The deal with Bishop, to me, is he's got unbelievable balance. He's got some power. He's got the burst, and he's proven to be dependable. It's hard to find a running back that can carry the ball that many times.
Last night it was like 3 yards, 6 yards, 5 yards. He's clicking them off, And then 20, or a 60-yard TD run, or a 70-yard TD. I mean, he just clicked all night long. Click them off, click them off, click them off. I mean, he just clicked them off last night. Oak Ridge couldn't contain him last night, and the difference in the game is Bishop and the guy that was playing quarterback, son number 6. You said him, Merrill. You told us who he was a while ago, but that was the difference in the game last night. And Carnes' defense played fairly well last night and shut them down. Good caller, you're on the air.
Hey guys, it's Jesse Smithy. How are y'all?
Doing good, Jesse. How you doing?
Not too bad. Kind of a light night here in week 9, so kind of enjoying this little bit of a break before we get to the craziness of the next couple of weeks.
You on fall break?
my family's on fall break. I'm not on fall break, so we're still doing some work tonight.
Man, you need to get in some business with some better people.
We didn't do our 5-star live tonight, so we did take a break from that, and but we'll be back with that next week for sure.
I got you. Hey, we were just talking, and a lot of people are interested here, and I'm sort of cutting in and out on you, I think. But the Monterey, Rockwood, Oneida tonight, after Oneida won, the spin on that region is just could be craziness with a 3-way tie.
Yeah, that was one game that I saw early on tonight that surprised me a little bit. Just judging by what Monterey had done this year. I haven't seen them in person, but that was one that kind of caught me by surprise. So hopefully the TSSAA does what they typically do here in Week 10, Week 11, put out some playoff scenarios that will really detail and outline what has to happen for certain teams to get certain seeds. That's always valuable because sometimes it can get really squirrely with tiebreakers and really go deep into some of those tiebreaker scenarios. So we'll just have to kind of keep an eye out for that one. I haven't been able to dig into it myself just yet. I mean, everything's still kind of going on tonight, but we'll definitely kind of take a look at it this weekend for sure.
Was the Farragut score tonight? We have some Farragut listeners all the time. Was that a surprise to you?
I've actually picked Farragut to win that game, so I thought they were going to be competitive with Bradley Central last year. If you look back at their 2 games, it was a 4-point game and I think a 3-point game in the playoffs. So even though Bradley Central came in undefeated, those 2 teams historically play tight football games. And when you look at Bradley Central's results this year, again, some tightly contested football games. There are a couple times they probably could have lost this season but didn't. So you got to give them credit for that. But Farragut had a couple of weeks to prepare for Bradley Central, and they were also getting their quarterback, Dawson Moore, back, who's one of the better quarterbacks in Knox County. He's a senior with a lot of experience, and he was well-rested and eager to get out there, and he played an unbelievable game tonight, led them on multiple comebacks there in the fourth quarter, and just defensively, Farragut couldn't get the stop that they needed, and Bradley Central kicked a 41-yarder to win that football game on the road, so hats off to them for being able to do that. That's not an easy thing to do.
Hold on, Bradley Central came back and won?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I did not realize that. I was trying to follow it on Twitter there, and I noticed, you were updating it, but I didn't get that part of it.
It was a back-and-forth affair. I think Farragut took a 21-20 lead, and then Bradley Central came back, got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to go back up 7, and Farragut got a deep pass play to tie it. 28 all, and it seemed like it was going to maybe go into overtime, but Bradley Central got down into field goal range there on the last play of the game, kicked a 41-yarder to win that one. So it was certainly a kick in the gut to Farragut and his playoff chances. Bearden getting that win tonight over Cleveland. It looks like they're going to, right now, they're the 3 seed, and Cleveland and Farragut are tied for the 4th seed. Cleveland gets to play Hardin Valley, which hasn't won a game all year. So they're likely going to get a win, and they have a win over Farragut already. So it's Farragut's in a position where they're going to have to beat Bearden in Week 11, and maybe some kind of weird tie-break scenario gets them in somehow. But that loss tonight for Farragut was just a blow to their playoff chances.
Hey, Jesse, speaking of Farragut and Bearden, they both step out of region next week. Do you think do you see both those teams winning next week, stepping out of the region against Anderson County and Fulton?
I mean, I think the Bearden-Anderson County game will be certainly one to watch. I think it'll be one of the better games next week. It's you take a look at Bearden's defense and what it's been able to do all season long outside of the Maryville game. Not a lot of people have put up points on Bearden, and so for, again, an Anderson County team that is going to have to grind out low-scoring affairs. I see that game kind of being like that Gibbs game was with Anderson County a week ago, somewhere in the teens. Both teams in the teens. Bearden doesn't manufacture a lot of points. They got a freshman quarterback, too, that's still kind of finding the way in high school football. So it won't matter one way or the other who wins in regards to region implications, but it'll certainly be one of the more entertaining games next Friday night.
Hey, Jesse, was you surprised with last night's Carnage victory over Oak Ridge?
Who'd
was
you
surprised
pick?
by. I picked Carnes to win the game.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a little bit tighter. I was surprised once the game got started. I was surprised that Carnes showed the mental fortitude to come back from a 21-7 deficit. That's the difference between this Carnes program and every other Carnes program that I've covered in my 20 years. Is they've always been one of those that's woe is me, down on my luck, can't handle adversity. And when Oak Ridge rallied there in the first half, took a 21-7 lead, it didn't faze Carnes at all. They came back, cut it to 21-14, nearly tied the game right there on the final play of the first half.
Right.
And even though they got stopped at the goal line on the final play of the second quarter, they just came back and had a monster third quarter. So this is a different Carnes team, and one like I've never seen. I know that I've covered them making playoff appearances before, not many, but this one's much more well-equipped to not only make the playoffs, which they've done for the first time in 10 years, but possibly win a game or two. And they're going to need to win a game or two in the playoffs, I think, for Deshaun Bishop to set a single-season state rushing record. He's 700 yards right now behind Jalen Hurd. He's got one regular season game left, so if he keeps at his current clip, he's going to need to at least get to the second round of the playoffs and keep that productivity up, which is going to be hard once you get into the second round of the 5A playoffs.
And one of those games is against Clinton, is that correct? That one game?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Final game against Clinton there at the end of the regular season, and so we'll see what he gets that night. If they'll really expend a lot of energy with him, or if they're going to rest him up for the playoffs. That's going to be kind of the conundrum, kind of the scenario for Brad Taylor, and they need to get that win, go ahead and secure their number 2 seed and everything. But how much did they really run Deshaun Bishop in that game?
So let's look ahead, because this is a pretty cool thing to talk about, the rushing record. If he plays Clinton, and then he's going to play a 3 seed from the Ray County region area, and then if they win that, they will probably face a Ray County. So he's possibly got 3 games to get 700 yards. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And, if they face Ray County, I've seen Ray County earlier this year. That was against Alcoa, and Alcoa certainly had some success running the football. And even a week or two ago, Elizabethton ran the football really, really well against Ray County and did it from the quarterback position. So there are opportunities for Deshaun Bishop to possibly get this record. And, man, to do that in maybe 12 games is just remarkable. I mean, it took Jalen Hurd 14 games when he did it back in 2012. So the average that Deshaun Bishop has right now is something I've never seen before in my time covering high school sports. To be able to rush for nearly, I think he's at around 290 yards per game, knowing that he's going to get the ball and they're still able to move the guys and create holes for him is just crazy.
Jesse, is it fair to say that he would be a front runner for Mr. Football in 5A?
He's certainly going to be a candidate. I mean, it's a strong candidate because there's people in the mid-state who are voters on that committee who are retweeting the content that I put out. So they have fully taken notice. This storyline of Deshaun Bishop and the inordinate amount of yards that he's putting up is not just a local storyline. It's grabbing statewide attention, and so that's going to give him a lot of name recognition. And when you go into those voters meetings, when you have that name recognition, that means a lot. You also have Walter Nolan up at Powell, who's in 5A, that's going to get some votes, so we'll see how that goes. There's Jordan Potts for Powell. We'll see what that does with 2 guys on the same team, possibly could hurt their chances when you talk about 2 candidates from the same team splitting votes. So it's going to be interesting to see. But, yeah, Deshaun Bishop's got to be one of the top 1 or 2 guys for the award right now.
So it changed a while back. The quarterback and the lineman, they go against each other now?
Yeah, so it's just all one winner now. And one winner. It makes it harder for linemen to win that award. I wish they would kind of go back to it, but that's the format the TSSAA has chosen, and it's easier to create an argument for a back or a linebacker or a receiver or a quarterback to win because those stats that you can contemplate and hear are much more they carry a lot more weight than going in there and talking about somebody's pancakes and what their offensive line coach grades them at percentage-wise on a Friday night, so it's different. It's harder for an offensive lineman or defensive lineman to win it. You almost have to be that All-American or that number one player in the country, and certainly Walter Nolan is that.
It's just hard to imagine that a kid could have a season like Bishop and not be the Mr. Football due to a ranking and a star system that someone's put on somebody.
Yeah, I would think if he gets close to that record, Jesse, he has to be the front runner. I mean, he has to be.
And I'm not saying that Walter Nolan is going to win it by any means, and he's not just going to be in it because of his ranking. He's actually had a really good season. When you look at his tackles for loss and his quarterback pressures and his sacks, I mean, he's gotten exponentially better since we saw him in that Maryville game early in the year. So he's going to be talked about. But what Sean Bishop is doing offensively has never been done before. When you look at those players on that all-time rushing list for a single season, I looked up a few at the top, and those guys that are over 3,000 all did it in 14 or 15 games. So let's just say Deshaun Bishop has a modest game in Week 11 and rushes for 200 yards. 2,800 yards in 10 games, that's never been done before. They don't have a 10-game record, but that's got to be a 10-game record in Tennessee.
Has to be, and you're right, Jesse. I've heard a lot that Nolan's really improved, and I heard his choice for college might be Texas A&M too.
Well, he certainly likes to play the game on Twitter and on social media and put different things out, whether it's Tennessee or Texas A&M or Florida or whoever. And I think I saw a maroon little wristband on his arm the other night. So he likes the recruiting game. He likes it's probably going to go down to signing day with him.
Kids love the attention, don't they, Jay?
Yeah. I mean, even if he commits, it's not going to be over with him until he puts that ink on the paper.
Yeah, I understand it's Texas A&M, Florida, and Tennessee's bringing up the rear.
We've got somebody that has asked us to, and if you don't want to, we won't. We'll wait another week or two. But they were wanting us to call out a 6A, and you try to pick which team in this side of the state will represent that classification in Chattanooga. Are you willing to do that, or you want to wait a couple weeks?
In 6A?
No, if I call out a number, you tell us who would represent East Tennessee. So if I said 6A, would you say Oakland or Maryville?
Oh, I mean, I think right now Oakland's the clear-cut favorite out of the top half of the bracket, or what will be the bracket in 6A. I know Maryville's going to want to have a say with that when they get to the semifinals. But right now, with what Oakland has done this year, the teams that they've beating Lipscomb Academy and just the players that they have, they are the favorite. And Maryville's got to change that. But right now, if I had to pick, I would take Oakland.
5A.
I think Powell is the favorite. And even though they got beat in the first round last year, and they're going to have to prove themselves that they can get it done in the playoffs. Out of all the teams in 5A right now in East Tennessee, they have to be considered the favorite. I know West might have the better state rankings, and I can go on and on about how much of a farce the state rankings are at times. But this Powell team is built differently and actually has more offensive firepower and a very improved defense. So I think they're a more complete team than West is right now. But West has got a grit to them that they're going to make life difficult for somebody in the 5A playoff.
They got a pretty good defense, don't they?
They do, and Central's a team that's kind of really come on quietly in 5A that you don't want to discount. They always typically are in the quarterfinals or semifinals, and they definitely have a defense that could upset somebody and kind of make a game a little muddy it up a little bit and try to grind out a 2017 win, something like that. So Central's a team to kind of keep an eye on, too, in 5A.
4A?
I think right now it's Greenville's championship to win or to lose, however you want to see it. I know Elizabethton's the two-time defending state champion, but Greenville ran roughshod all over them in the regular season, and they're just, I think they dropped 80-something points tonight on Sullivan East, and it's a different animal with Greenville this year. And there's teams like South Doyle and Elizabethton and Anderson County, and that's going to have their say at their appointed time in the playoffs. But right now, if I had to pick, I'd go with Greenville.
3A?
Definitely Alcoa. I mean, they're 6-time defending state champions. There's no reason to believe that anybody, I think, that they'll face in the playoffs really has what it takes to go 4 quarters with them. I know Kingston's doing well this year. I know Loudoun's doing well this year, and they're going to, I think, have a lot of success in the playoffs and have deep runs. But it's going to take something weird, a quarterback getting hurt or something like that for Alcoa not to win it this year.
And of course, a lot of our fans here want to hear about 2A and 1A. So what are you going there? What direction are you going there?
Yeah, I mean, 2A is probably Meigs County. I mean, they've been in the state championship the last couple of years. The team that they couldn't beat, Peabody, has dropped from 2A down into 1A. So Meigs County likes its chances to. They're one of our teams this year, or the last couple of years in five-star preps. We cover them, and so having seen them in person and having seen what they've done this year, I like the chances that they have to get back to the state championship. Rockwood is definitely improving. Rockwood was a team that I've said on this show that I liked early on in the season. Had some injury there to the quarterback position that really derailed them, but they've pieced it together again. So they're definitely a team that could be a sleeper there in 2A.
You know, and then 1A, obviously, we'll let you speak on that before our Coalfield people go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Coalfield is the team, I think, for our coverage area in 1A. And 1A is super deep this year, not just across the state, but what they're going to face probably come the third round of the playoffs. So I like the fact that they're branching out a little bit more and throwing the football more with Hines at quarterback, and I see their stats getting better each and every week throwing the football. And so when you can have that duality with your offense and match it there with their kind of patented running game, I like Coalfield a lot more now that they're able to do that, and it makes them tougher to defend once they get into the 1A playoffs. But I'd be hard-pressed to say that they're going to make it to the state championship. They're going to have some awfully difficult games come quarterfinals or semifinals.
Well, Jesse, we appreciate your time. We are excited about the next 2 weeks. Obviously, a lot will unfold and play out. And you got a prediction tomorrow for Heupel versus Kiffin?
Well, did we ever find out if Evans was playing or not? I know there's some reports that he was out or he wasn't going to play. I don't know if we ever got a definitive answer on that. But if he's not playing, I don't know how you can pick Tennessee to win that football game. I know everybody's excited. They're winning football games again, and at times look really explosive. But I think I think the media and a lot of people on social media have kind of poked the bear this week, and I think Lane Kiffin's coming into Neyland Stadium to prove a point.
Did you see the picture where Monty Kiffin and Lane are out with dinner tonight with Ray Hand?
I don't know anything about that.
No, it's on Twitter, for real. Yeah, there's somebody posted a picture. Lane posted a picture, said great night out on town, and he's with Ray Hand and Monty Kiffin and Frazier from UT.
Well, I did see him post a picture of Roosters, and that was certainly an interesting time back in 2009. Some stories about him and that restaurant and many other things. So he's already kind of trolling the Tennessee fan base tonight, and so it should be a raucous environment tomorrow night.
I know me and you've talked about this. Can you share with people the craziest night you've ever had since you started covering sports?
Yeah, so I tell people all the time, like, what you see on TV and in the movies about newspaper newsrooms, everybody running around yelling, screaming, stop the press, that never happened. But it happened that night that Lane Kiffin resigned at Tennessee, and it was a basketball night for me. I was in there typing up high school box scores, and we had newsroom editors running in with their sleeping robes on and house shoes. They had seen it on the ticker on TV, and they came storming into the News Sentinel. And so it was about 10 o'clock at night, and over the next 3 hours, it was just absolutely just a madhouse at the Sentinel, just like you see on the movies, of just people running around yelling and screaming. And, of course, I'm the high school beat writer at the time, so I'm just not doing anything. And I remember looking over my shoulder to one of my coworkers, and I said this. I said, I could write in this high school basketball roundup that Jody Wright went out and relieved himself at midcourt of a high school basketball game and nobody would read it. Nobody would even see it in the paper the next day. That's exactly what I told the guy next to me, because what was happening, I mean, our servers were crashing. We had millions of people coming to our website, crashing our website. So we had people back in the server room going nuts. We had editors going. I mean, it was just the mayhem that happened on campus was just like we were experiencing in the newsroom, and I just kind of sat back and watched. I mean, I'd never seen anything like it, and never did again.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
That's wow.
He was telling me that the other night. I was like, whoa, if I can remember, I've got to ask him about that on the air.
Wow. What a story.
Yeah, it's something I'll never experience again, and just, I had to call recruits the next day to see if Coach O was telling them to, not to go to class, and I had to call Tyler Bray, and he gave me the runaround, never gave me a definitive answer on that, but it was that 48, 72 hours of him leaving and then going to USC was just, it was a circus, much like his time at Tennessee was.
Heather wasn't happy.
There weren't a lot of people that were happy, especially in that press conference that he orchestrated there at the 11th hour.
I was just reading through Twitter, and you probably retweeted this. Bishop's picked up an offer from Virginia Tech.
Was that tonight?
Yeah, just tonight. He said, what a birthday present. It's 15 minutes ago, and I know you've been slammed, but yeah. Well, what a birthday present this is, and he got an offer from Virginia Tech 58 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's only going to get bigger for him, and I know Tennessee is on him very, very much and very hard, and so is Memphis and a lot of others. So his recruitment's probably going to kind of skyrocket here in the next coming months.
As it should. How big is he, Jesse? Is he 6 foot tall?
No, he's not 6 foot tall. He's 5'10", 5'11". He's really improved his physique though from last year, and I mean he looks built to withstand the college rigors, and he's only going to get bigger and stronger and faster. And
he is ripped up.
Yeah, he is. It's going to be fun to see what he looks like this time next year.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, buddy, get some rest. We lost
Jesse. See you, Jesse. He's gone.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, see you, man.
You want to take a quick commercial break?
Let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here on the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard, where we're talking a little balls.
Yep, it's time to call.
Many of our neighbors are living in fear of becoming sick or injured because they do not have health insurance or can't afford to go to the doctor. The Free Medical Clinic is solving that problem by providing free, no-charge primary care clinics in Oak Ridge, Harriman, and Briceville for residents in Anderson, Morgan, and Roane counties. But we don't accomplish this alone. There's no way we can create a better future for our community members by ourselves. It takes all of us. We thank each of our valuable partners in helping the Free Medical Clinic end the fear of those who can't afford medical care. On behalf of our thousands of patients, thank you.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Tennessee who take part in high school sports. I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Welcome back to the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard, fmcor.org. Check them out, folks. If you need insurance, don't go without. They'll help you out. Hammer, Oak Ridge, and Bryce. Like I said, check them out, fmcor.org. Get on their website. You can get a phone number there, and you can get in contact with someone, and they'll try to help you out with some free medical insurance and try to help you out. So we appreciate them being our sponsor all year long here on the Friday Night Scoreboard, and all the other sponsors. Appreciate OEB doing the Friday night game, and all the other sponsors that's been with Channel 12 for a long time. But it's time to talk. It's time to talk football. Even though it was a little warm night, I had to bring my little lightweight pullover and just put it on because Tennessee, you don't get to wear stuff too much around here recently, so it was nice to be able to drag it out. But Cox, you think? And, Jesse said about Evans, I think he's probably right. If Evans doesn't play tomorrow night, I think Tennessee's in trouble. Can they hang around? Yeah, but I think when it's all said and done, Ole Miss will hang 50 on Tennessee, and maybe Tennessee gets in the upper 30s or 40s, and that'll be it. I'd be looking at a 50-something to 40-something game, maybe a couple touchdowns Ole Miss. And Lane Kiffin's going to come in and try to drop the hammer. He is. He
would love to score 70.
Yes, that's exactly right. Took it out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Exactly. He sure would. So
he wants to score. He wants to come here and score 70.
Yep.
He's going to be hopping. When he came in as an assistant, and I understand this isn't the first time he's been here, but he came in and was told where to go, what time to hit the field, what to do. Saban had him on the tightest leash that he'd ever been on. He's going to run here tomorrow as the head ball coach. There is no. He might show up an hour and a half out there before the game on the field and never go out back in.
There is no leash tomorrow.
No.
Because he's got control of the leash. There is no leash tomorrow.
I've got a buddy who's good friends with the guy that used to be the recruiting coordinator at Alabama. His name is Jody Wright. He's now at the Browns. He said that Kiffin begged Saban to let him score 80 points in that game where he played here in Knoxville. He said he begged him. He said, Coach, I can score 80 if you'll let us score 80. And he said, no, 40 or 50 will do. I mean, he wanted to sling it around and beat the absolute snot out of him.
Oh, I think it's coming tomorrow if he can do it. Now, can Tennessee pull an upset off? Maybe. It just has to go their way.
And I think it's a big upset if they win. The line's like 3, but I think if they win, it's a big upset.
Here's what I think. Offensively, Ole Miss is probably just a little bit better, okay? Offensively. Defensively, I think Tennessee defensively is a whole lot better, but we're thin. Is Theo Jackson, is that right? Is Theo Jackson back tomorrow?
I'm not
Is those
sure.
two other players back tomorrow off the defensive side of the ball? If they're not back, then Tennessee's defense and Ole Miss defense is probably a wash, and it's whoever can score the most points, that'll be it. Whoever gets the football last might win the football game too. if Tennessee's fully healthy tomorrow offensively.
It's going to be a turnover situation.
Yep. But Tennessee defensively has to have the Jackson
But
kid. He
Tennessee
has to play.
defense has been causing turnovers.
That's what I mean. But Jackson has to play. He has to play. He has to play tomorrow night for Tennessee to have any type of chance. Evans has to play.
Evans has to play.
I wouldn't even go so far to say that Cooper Mays doesn't need to play tomorrow night. I don't know what his status is, but he's probably got to.
You got to have your running back.
Yeah, you got to have your running back.
Because the running back keeps Ole Miss off the field.
Yeah, but if Cooper Mays is able to play, then that helps the running back situation. Now that makes the offensive line a little better. So we'll see about that. But it's an interesting game tomorrow night. It's an ESPN game. I think it's a 7:30 game. I think on ESPN. I think maybe the SEC network, maybe, or is it on ESPN?
No, it's on ESPN.
It's on ESPN.
7:30.
7:30. Well, should be a heck of a ball game. They're saying it's a sellout. They're going to checkerboard stand, so we'll see. Hey, what'd you think about the uniforms last week?
In person, they were awesome. And what set it off was the white helmet with the black face mask. That was really, really cool. But I thought it was neat. And I get it because it's a marketing, and kids love that stuff.
Well, that's what there was a guy that called in that said something about the uniform, some guy.
In a game you know you're going to win.
And the guy, Paul Feinbaum said, it ain't got nothing to do whether you like it or not. It's the recruits that like it, and that's who they're playing to. They're not playing to the fan base of that. They're playing to the recruits, and the players are trying to keep them and get them in there. So it's not that they're trying to play to the fan base on the black. I think the black jerseys look good with orange pants myself. That same set with orange, I think that looked cool, man.
It looked cool.
I think
But I will say this. I'm glad they did it against South Carolina and not Ole Miss.
I would have done it against Ole Miss.
They're all orange tomorrow night.
Oh, they're all orange tomorrow night? That'd be good, too. I like
all
that
orange.
I like that uniform, too.
Yeah.
Quick caller, you're on the air.
Did he say that it was on ESPN tomorrow?
Yes.
I thought it read.
Yeah, we think we're right. It's only at 7:30. It's either.
I'm sorry. I heard on the news at 6 o'clock it was going to be on the SEC network.
That's what I thought.
Hold on a second.
We're working. Hold on. We'll tell you here in just a minute.
I thought last night that I read that. Okay.
SEC Network. We're being hollered from the back. 7:30 on the SEC Network.
Hey, I noticed tonight I was flipping back and forth watching you all and watching the sports on CBS, and they had Kingston's coach on there talking to him. They're usually doing Knoxville. It's good to see them do a little bit of Roane County.
Well, Kingston's had a great year, and they're getting ready to play a football game in the last week of the season, which is the OEB game of the week. That will be here on Channel 12, and that will be for the region championship. So, you know, when you get this late in the year, the 10, 6, and 8s of the world seem to travel a little farther.
This playoffs start getting closer to playoffs, and that'll be the biggest ball game on Friday night probably around here. That game will. That's a lot of implications.
The Loudon-Kingston game will be the top 3 game that week. It'll be a top 3 game that week.
Are you still thirsty, David, for a Pepsi?
You never know. I drink this old water, so I'm just settling for water right now. So.
If we just wait on a Pepsi, we'd be dehydrated.
Yeah, we'd be dehydrated.
You know what my score prediction for tomorrow night is?
You tell me.
I'm going to say Tennessee 100, Ole Miss 103.
You could be right, buddy. You could be right.
Y'all have a good one.
All right, see you, man. Thank you. Well, 100 and 103 to 100. Wouldn't shock me, but I don't think it'll happen, but it wouldn't shock me. Man, what if that did happen? That'd be a heck of a score, wouldn't it? So, you know, next Friday night, just a short distance, 2 teams play. I think they're about 5 miles apart, maybe something like that. Cofield and Oliver Springs play next Friday night.
Yeah.
What a game. That's always a knockdown, drag-out football game with those 2 teams. And then the following Friday night, Loudon and Kingston.
Big game.
Big game. So I know Oliver Springs has not had the year, but I would just throw away not having the year because when Cofield comes to town, I would say Coach Green and the staff down there will practice a little bit harder this week to get ready for that game. Like I said, that's a huge game. You could almost walk to that game from Coalfield. Don't know that I'd want to, but you almost could walk to that game.
I can't believe no one's called in to give us the details on the ejections tonight.
Yeah, you would have thought somebody would have called and let us know about the ejections, but they've not. Quick, caller, you on the air.
Well, if Tennessee wins tomorrow, they still got 3 games: Bama, Kentucky, and Georgia.
Yes.
And that's going to be. Hope they don't get nobody banged up because they got 3 tough games in a row after tomorrow.
They sure do. I agree with you 100%. But what you hope tomorrow, here's what you hope happens tomorrow. You hope the Georgia-Kentucky game is a physical football game, and maybe it affects Kentucky more than it does Georgia. Okay, so that would put the Tennessee-Kentucky game back in play just a little bit. Because the way Kentucky's playing right now, I don't know if Tennessee can go up there and beat them. But if they're beat down tomorrow by Georgia, and there's a lot of people thinking Kentucky's going to win that football game.
Yep.
I mean, Big Blue Nation has drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I mean, they've drank the Kool-Aid. So that's what you hope for, that Georgia puts a whipping on Kentucky, and it's a physical whipping, which maybe would help Tennessee down the road. I think that's 3 games at Tennessee. Just go ahead and make that a 0-3, so Tennessee could go from 4-2 to 4-5 with a couple games left in between there somewhere that they've got a chance to win to be 6-6.
You got to manage expectations. I think if they win 1 of the next 4, it's okay. If you win 2 of the next 4, it's an unbelievable run.
The last 2 games is South Alabama and Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Well, you know, to win 7 or 8 games, if Tennessee got lucky and won a couple of those games that we think they're going to lose, to win those in those last 2 games that we were talking about, man, Tennessee's had a good year.
I think
nobody would believe that.
I still think Tennessee can go to Kentucky and win.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's a possibility. So you never know. But it always scares me playing Vanderbilt because you never know what Vanderbilt's going to do.
Vanderbilt's terrible.
I know they're terrible, but they've been terrible before, and we've lost. So hold on, buddy. Just hold on.
They're going to win 6 games. The question is, can they win 7 or 8?
That's a question.
Yeah.
Well, Ed Evans' boy's not going to play tomorrow, what I understand.
We were wondering. We hadn't heard we've not heard anything confirmed.
I don't think Tennessee has a chance without him in. If they do it, it's an uphill battle without him.
Or are they saving him?
No, why would you say that? No, I wouldn't think so. Lord, no, you put everybody in the ball boy out there tomorrow night trying to beat up Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. No, I wouldn't think you save nobody tomorrow night. Period.
These coaches are making way too much money to save anything.
Yeah, I don't think you save nobody tomorrow night. I think it's all hands on deck. And if you're on walk-on and you're dressing tomorrow night, you better be ready.
The good news is John Warren says he's punting tomorrow night for the Vols. He's coming out of retirement to punt. And he wants a Michael Hayes poster behind us holding the 4th down marker.
I heard that.
It said Admiral Schofield. So, I do. Caller, have you got to see the Admiral Schofield video of him talking about Baker Mayfield?
That's something else.
What's that?
That's something else. I've seen it.
That is awesome. That'll put cold chills on you right there.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. You fellas have a good evening.
See you, bud. Speaking of that, it won't be long. It'll be basketball team. I watched Grant Williams play a little bit tonight. Celtics.
Did you see where Barnes is having an open scrimmage tomorrow, 11:30 to 1 o'clock?
I didn't see that.
Hey, we're going to be at TBA scrimmaging each other from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. Come on in, everybody.
It'd be interesting to see what type of team he's got this year. I know he's doing something that he didn't want to do, or he hadn't wanted to do. He is playing Texas this year in the the SEC, whatever that is.
Oh, Big 12 Challenge.
Yeah.
Good for
Big
him.
12 Challenge. He's playing Texas.
Him and Shaka.
Shaka's not there no more.
Oh, did he get let go?
Yeah, he will have to went somewhere. Guy from Texas Tech maybe is there.
That's right.
Yeah, so that'll be
That
interesting.
is right. That dude's a coach.
Yep, he's a good coach. Never did figure out why they hired Shaka anyway. It didn't make any sense to me.
Shaka's still trying to figure out why he left VCU.
He went someplace.
He could do whatever he wanted.
Where he went, but he left Texas. They didn't get a chance to run him off. He left them.
He left.
Maybe he already knew that it was coming, and he just went ahead and didn't want to get the F in front of the name. But
that's
anyway.
probably right. So what do you think tomorrow? You think Tennessee has to score 50 points to win?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's the only chance they have is to score 50 points. and turn them over.
Well, now, could it be 48 or 49 and do it? Yeah, that's right.
48, 41.
Yeah, something like that. I think it's got to be in the it has to be in the upper 40s, because I think Ole Miss will hang at least 40-something tomorrow night. But listen, if Tennessee's got the defensive guys back, I would feel a lot better. But without Evans, it's going to be tough sledding, because the running back situation over there is slim to none. Me and you could do it tomorrow night probably. And we
a guy from South Carolina sat behind me last week, and he was right. If Tennessee had either one of South Carolina's running backs, their offense would be unbelievably hard to stop.
I think that's why Tennessee needs their
I don't think Evans is great. I just think he's solid.
No, he's just solid. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why Tennessee's biggest recruiting needs, to me, besides offensive and defensive line and the front part, I mean, there's a lot of needs, okay? They need a back, and we're probably going to need a quarterback for the future. But those two are key things, and we got to get the right back, we got to get the right quarterback, because it's evident that what's his name, the kid that's not playing any,
Bailey.
He needs to go ahead and get a transfer portal and get out, because he's not going to play. It's not his style of offense. It's nothing his style of offense. So
it's crazy.
We didn't have anybody complain about officials tonight. That's the first out of, 9 weeks we didn't have a call in. So Bradley Allen, I bet he didn't call tonight. He must have been off tonight. He probably didn't get a ball game.
Bradley, Porter, and Kennedy must have been off.
Bradley, Porter, and Kennedy all must have been off tonight. Yeah. But, maybe Bradley's getting ready. Maybe he thinks he's going to call tomorrow's Tennessee game. I don't know. We'll see. All right, folks, we'll see you right back here next Friday night. Same back channel. Same time, around 10 o'clock, depends on what the game goes, but we'll be back next Friday night on the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. And Cox, I think the next couple of weeks, it's going to be interesting.
Big boy football.
Big boy football.
Yep, here we go.
Right. Here we go, strap on. So we're getting ready for the playoffs, and you'll see it they'll get eliminated fast around here on Friday night. See you next Friday night here on the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. Hey, the game of the week. Game of the week next week. Coalfield and Oliver Springs. Catch them out. It'll be a good football game.
Be honest, I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. I checked what the CDC says and spoke with my doctor about the potential side effects. It definitely made me much less anxious. She told me if I have some arm pain or feel tired, that's completely normal as my body builds a defense to the virus. I was willing to take the vaccine to protect me, my family, and my friends. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Beautiful yards make a statement, and beautiful yards come from Simplicity Mowers. Their exclusive free-floating mower decks with full-width rollers track the contours of your yard for a perfect cut. So visit your neighborhood Simplicity dealer today and start the conversation about your lawn. Simplicity, the way to a beautiful lawn.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Many of our neighbors are living in fear of becoming sick or injured because they do not have health insurance or can't afford to go to the doctor. The Free Medical Clinic is solving that problem by providing free, no-charge primary care clinics in Oak Ridge, Harriman, and Briceville for residents in Anderson, Morgan, and Roane counties. But we don't accomplish this alone. There is no way we can create a better future for our community members by ourselves. It takes all of us. We thank each of our valuable partners in helping the Free Medical Clinic end the fear of those who can't afford medical care. On behalf of our thousands of patients, thank you.
You call your agent with a simple question, only to get sent to voicemail again. We pick up the phone. Did you get this? Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? Like I said, we pick up the phone because it's ringing. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Hello, this is Sam.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Many of our neighbors are living in fear of becoming sick or injured because they do not have health insurance or can't afford to go to the doctor. The Free Medical Clinic is solving that problem by providing free, no-charge primary care clinics in Oak Ridge, Harriman, and Briceville for residents in Anderson, Morgan, and Roane counties. But we don't accomplish this alone. There is no way we can create a better future for our community members by ourselves. It takes all of us. We thank each of our valuable partners in helping the Free Medical Clinic end the fear of those who can't afford medical care. On behalf of our thousands of patients, thank you.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
The innocence of youth.
What's going on within Oak Ridge football, so we'll see what happens.
Inside the locker room, is that what you're saying?
There's been a lot of stuff happening within the Oak Ridge football team. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, and this is pretty much public knowledge, so this is no secret. But at the beginning of the season,
Afghans at the Kabul airport. The U.S. military said the target was an ISIS-K planner. But weeks later, Central Command said the missile strike was a tragic mistake and that civilians were killed, not an ISIS.
A guilty plea. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. A confessed school shooter in court today after being charged with another.
We are the Kingston cheerleaders here at ORUD getting ready for the big game. Jackets, the best.
RCHS, jackets, the best. RCHS, jackets, the best. RCHS, jackets, the best.
Host your friends in style and be the envy of your neighborhood when entertaining this football season with natural gas appliances purchased from ORUD at 0% interest.
We can help you clean up after the game with a reliable natural gas water heater and the energy savings of a gas dryer.
Want to cozy up next to a natural gas fireplace after a chilly night at the field? Let ORUD help you with the play-by-play to truly make your house feel like home.
You can make the game-winning play by switching to natural gas this football season. ORUD is your affordable energy choice.
Out for the Yellow Jackets tonight.
Oh, it is, and you can't ask for a better environment than down here in Kingston whenever it's big ball game time and Signal Mountain. Yeah, they've got 2 losses, but who was those 2 losses? 2 of the best teams in the state of Tennessee. That's who, Meigs County, which we're all familiar with.
Unfortunately.
And then the Loudon Redskins, which we're all familiar with. So those 2 losses, you might have a little asterisk beside it, because I guarantee you this, Kingston is going to get the best of Signal Mountain here tonight.
That's true, and also the Kingston Yellow Jackets, while we're at it, come in with 1 loss, but to a dang good Campbell County team, 4A. So, both teams at this point have probably beat the teams they're supposed to have beat and probably got beat by the teams that were supposed to beat them. So just a great environment tonight for high school football. A few people moved their games up to last night. I think there were some chances of some rain, so we had a few games played on Thursday, and that Thursday night rivalry game, I don't know if you watched it, but that kid from Carnes ran it all over the field.
One of the best running backs in the state of Tennessee. I don't care to even say it. Somebody's going to land a gem in that young man if he's not just beat all to pieces by the time he signs at the dotted line to play his collegiate football, because you take him out of the picture for Carnes, I'm not sure how many wins they get, to be honest with you. So that is a heck of a program, a great job utilizing the talent that they have, and got a lot of wins this year.
They sure do. I love seeing those bigger teams play. Growing up, when you're in a small community like Roane County, sometimes you don't get to see those big teams play, so we're fortunate to get to watch them on TV and see some of the real talent that's in East Tennessee and across the state.
And it's a big time period here in East Tennessee for talent. In the past 10 years, as you know, watching high school football as much as you do, there's a huge leaps and bounds of talent that we've witnessed here in the last 10 years. Starting with the offensive line, you've really seen a change in the physique of guys. You see regularly now offensive linemen with 5 250-plus pounders starting in small ball, and that's a testament to the weight rooms, D1 training facilities. A lot of these guys are going there now, getting one-on-one instruction, and it's really paying off.
It sure is. And you look back at when your parents played and just how small those people were on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, and then you fast forward to now and you go watch players at Catholic, Alcoa, the big offensive line in Alcoa and Maryville, and they're feeding them. They must be getting their produce from Wartburg or something.
Exactly. It's just a different age. And now kids, you're talking about a time your dad and my grandfather and them played. It was Ironman football. So it was a different mindset. You had to play both ways on special teams, and so your offensive linemen, they couldn't be big. They had to be where they could move and play 60 minutes a ball game and not be off the football field. And now guys are able to rotate in, and they're getting bigger and stronger and faster, and it's pretty impressive.
And that's where Kingston might have a little bit of an advantage tonight. They have a lot of players on their roster, probably a few more than Signal Mountain, but still good, still some good lineups.
Yeah.
But you're going to see that certain players only playing one side of the ball tonight. Coach Pankey able to rotate some guys in and give them a break. Some of these guys don't come off the field.
Oh, that's a huge advantage that Kingston's got in this game in particular is, they got 20 plus extra bodies on the Kingston sideline, and I guarantee you this, after watching Kingston several times this year, they're going to take advantage of that depth, and they're going to rotate in heavily. So keep an eye on that second half, and let's see how Signal Mountain responds to the depth in the second half.
And after looking at the 50-yard line, Coach Pankey and Coach Roberts just probably exchanged some pleasantries with each other, all in good sportsmanship, I'm sure. Let's look at some games around the county real quick, and we'll go over we'll run down lineups for each team. Greenback is at Harriman tonight. I don't know if you followed Greenback in the past, but typical powerhouse. Greenback has kind of fallen off for whatever reasons. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's a lot of coaching changes going on up there and some in-house turmoil that's just normally not happening. And, they've had a couple embarrassing losses, which is also, something that just don't happen much. But that program's going to bounce back in a major way. But they better watch out because the Harriman Blue Devils are eyeballing that game big time. It would be a big win for the Harriman Blue Devils to beat the Greenback.
That's true. Also tonight, Oliver Springs, who has also struggled this year, they're 1-4. They're traveling to Oakdale tonight. 5-1 Oakdale Eagles.
Yeah,
so,
5-1.
So they might have their hands full tonight.
You want to talk about the importance of single A football and the community aspect of it. You're talking about an Oakdale team that has 14, 15 kids on that roster and was able to upset a Midway team. They're
a good Midway team.
Well, I say upset, but Oakdale's got a better record than anybody.
That's true.
It's special what that little community of Oakdale does every year, barely able to have enough to even play, and putting a quality product on the field with limited players.
That's true. Coach Green and Coach Bulls always do a good job with their programs. Look forward to that game. Midway, the Greenways, we just touched on them. They travel to Sunbright tonight. Should be a good game for Midway.
It really will. Midway should win that ball game. It should be a good way for Midway to work on some mistakes and really prepare for a potential playoff run.
That's awesome. And finally tonight, Rockwood travels to the Big Wartburg Bulldogs.
Yeah, they just got to secure that win, and I don't know where Rockwood's going to fall in the playoffs, but you just got to win that one out. And
Rockwood's pulling for Monterey tonight, and then to win out the rest of the season, and then they're going to secure a home playoff game.
Gotcha.
You know how important those home.
Yeah.
You don't want to travel to Powell's 3 hours away to play South North Green.
Yeah, that's always a long trip. But sometimes those long trips are good for a football team to bring people together. But it's going to be an interesting travel.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll cover the lineups for both Kingston and Signal Mountain. This is the BBB Friday Night OEB Game of the Week.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
With one small step, you have the potential to make a big difference in this world. It starts here at Roane State Community College. There's never been a greater need for health science graduates, and Roane State has the program to get you there. With 11 different health science degrees and 7 certificates offered, the choice is yours. Roane State, healthcare heroes start here. Apply now at roanestate.edu.
Patterson's Appliances has been helping families like yours find quality home appliances from trusted brands including Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid for over 55 years. Our knowledgeable appliance specialists know how to outfit your kitchen or laundry room with the right appliances to meet your needs. We service what we sell with our own in-house factory-trained service technicians, and for the DIYers, our parts department is always ready to help customers find the appliance parts they need. Patterson's Home Appliances, because we care.
I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. They offer mulch, topsoil, all types of gravel, sand, rock, crab orchard stone, riprap stone, and limestone gravel. Mulch & More does light excavation work. Do you need a driveway repaired? They can do it. Plus, Mulch & More can do your water and sewer lines, French drains, and more with Ditch Witch services. So whether you only need a half cubic yard up to 20 cubic yards, Mulch & More can help you. Give Gary a call today at 865-234-7060 at Mulch & More in Midtown.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
Welcome back to Dr. Nat Sugarman Field. We're here live with the BBB OEB Friday night game of the week. Chase Clem alongside James Gibson. James, that's a mouthful, spitting that out.
And we've got more to go.
We're just getting started. Before we look at these rosters, we talked about, let's touch a little bit on tomorrow's game, big game between Tennessee and Ole Miss, the return of one Lane Kiffin.
What a game. You can't boy, what a picture on that screen right there. Roane County High School band, they always do a good job, don't they?
They do.
Amazing.
A fantastic
But
job.
yeah, we've got a big game in Neyland Stadium tomorrow here in Knoxville. It's going to be an outstanding game. One of the biggest games in Knoxville in a long time. Biggest sellout, and it's our first sellout in I don't know how long. And it's going to be a shootout. I'm predicting, 50, 60 points in that one.
Oh, yeah. Maybe per team.
Yeah, it's per team. Ole Miss, they do not play, the best defense, but they do play a lot of defensive backs. So they make you throw in front of them. And, Tennessee's kind of been reliant on that deep ball a little bit. So it's going to be hard to connect on the deep ball with that Ole Miss defense. But Tennessee, man, they have been playing lights out with the likes of Hendon Hooker, who is, if you look at the Heisman numbers, and Corral at Ole Miss is kind of leading that way. Hendon Hooker's not far behind Matt Corral at Ole Miss, who's leading the Heisman race right now. So, Tennessee's playing outstanding ball, and Hendon Hooker is leading the way for them. Josh Heupel, what a play caller.
Yes, has receivers open and has a quarterback that's hitting open receivers. And he also, one thing we haven't seen in past years, he saw there needed to be a change at quarterback. He made the change, stuck with it, and we're moving forward.
Yep, we are moving forward, and it's paying off. I believe we're about to have the national anthem here.
We can pause real quick for that and let the fans at home listen in to the Roane County High School marching band. Wonderful performance by the Roane County High School marching band. I tell you what, you talk about consistency. Year in, year out, that is one heck of a band.
I've got goosebumps. Oh, my goodness. You can't ask for a better band. If anybody's not familiar that's watching this broadcast with the Roane County Band, you are missing an opportunity. If you ever get a chance, have not been to a Kingston ball game, you need to get down there and watch and pay attention at halftime, because you will see one of the best bands, in my opinion, in East Tennessee.
Yes, sir. Under new leadership, Mr. Zach Williams retired this past year.
Legend.
You talk about a legend. Coaches can only hope that lasts as long as he did with the Roane County Marching Band.
Exactly.
Under new leadership this year, I'm going to find the name because I should know it, but he's picked up right where they left off and is doing a great job.
Very professional. He was up here, joined us in the broadcast just for a little bit, I believe at Rockwood during halftime, and we watched him and how he interacted, and he demands excellence. And I tell you, very professional, and Kingston's lucky to have somebody like that lead their program.
Andrew Lane, for those watching at home. I knew I should have known that name. We got some crowd shots of the Kingston faithful.
Yeah, we're on fall break and not expecting a huge crowd during fall break, because everybody's probably sitting in the sand. But still, nice. Pretty good crowd.
So we're pulling for the Titans on Sundays?
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm not the biggest NFL guy.
Yeah.
I'm more than college ranks. I like the heart and the effort of those unpaid athletes.
That's not for long.
Not for long. You're right. Them kids are signing six figures. Arch Manning is they're talking like he might sign a $10 million to potentially $20 million contract the day he graduates high school and signs on the dotted line at whatever university it is.
Ever.
I'm telling you now, an 18-year-old. Now, this is going to change college athletics forever. You know, you're giving 18-year-old kids a couple $1 million. You know, maybe that young man never had anything, and now all of a sudden he's 18 away from mom and daddy, and he's got a couple $1 million in his bank account. How is that going to impact college football?
Well, they better learn how to manage it.
It's not the best thing, but you've got programs like the University of Tennessee that's took a forefront initiative to really push classes and different, training opportunities for those young athletes to learn how to manage their money. But, it yet to be determined on the long-term effects of this moving forward.
You never know. OEB might sign somebody to an NIL deal.
They can. If anybody out there is listening and you're a small business owner, you can reach out to these college athletes and sponsor them, and they will push you on social media and so on and so forth. It's an interesting world we live in.
That's right. Reached out to the Fulke team the other day to try to set up an interview with him.
Pal Burgers.
Pals.
I think Pals is supporting him right now big time. And, it's a good thing. There's a lot of kids that will benefit greatly from that, but there will be some issues out there as well. But that's like with anything.
And I'll tell you what, who's on pace to have a heck of a season, and that's the Tennessee basketball team.
Yeah, I seen them practice the other night, and they, they lost a lot, but they are deeper than I have seen them in a long time. They have athletes, those young guys that came in there pushing Vescovi and those guys for playing time, and they have really, really recruited very well at the University of Tennessee with Rick Barnes leading the way.
All right, let's take one final break before we kick off the BBB OEB game of the week. The teams are about to take their fields. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
This holiday season, give the gift of health to all kinds of families in your community. Many of our neighbors can't afford medical care. In fact, over 14,000 of those living in Anderson, Roane, and Morgan County live in fear of becoming sick or injured because they don't have health insurance and can't afford to go to the doctor. But you can change that. On Tuesday, November the 30th, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday, give at fmcor.org to help provide unmet medical care needs in your community. Together, we hope to raise $10,000 in 24 hours. November the 30th, Give Tuesday, a day to remember those in need during the holidays. Give at fmcor.org.
You call your agent with a simple question, only to get sent to voicemail again. We pick up the phone... Did you get this? Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? Like I said, we pick up the phone because it's ringing. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Hello, this is Sam.
Energize your home with natural gas from ORUD, your affordable energy choice. See all the ways natural gas can improve your home by visiting one of the ORUD showrooms in Oak Ridge or Kingston. New gas appliances run more efficiently. They provide hot water when you need it, precise heat control for cooking, and can dry clothes in about half the time. Comfort you can feel. Savings you can use. ORUD Natural Gas.
We do everything from checklists and tackling kids' activities to exploring and enjoying life's special moments. Ray Varner Ford in Clinton can help you embrace it all in a new or pre-owned vehicle. 2021 Ford F-150 Super Crew 4x4 XLT, $53,992. 2018 Nissan Murano, $28,890. 2016 GMC Terrain Denali, $24,890. Prepare your vehicle for seasonal changes at our Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center. Local you trust, a lifestyle you can afford. Ray Varner Ford, your East Tennessee Ford dealership.
The Harriman Utility Board works hard to ensure reliable electric power is delivered to our service area. Recurring tree trimming and maintenance is essential to preventing unplanned outages caused by falling trees. HUB crews are constantly at work during the peak growing season and respond rapidly to storm damage. As partners in our community, we urge customers to be aware of the importance of electric line right-of-way management. Find out more about current right-of-way policies at our website, hub-tn.com.
Pre-planning it makes the process just so much easier for the family. It relieves them of having to make some difficult decisions at a bad time. I've made arrangements with hundreds of families that I have never had a family come in and say, gee, I wish Mom hadn't have done this. Pre-planning, I think, is one of the best things you can do for your family, is to alleviate those concerns.
Welcome back, sports fans, to the BBB Ogle, Elrod, and Burrell Friday night game of the week. OEB game of the week. Get it right, Chase. We're about to have the opening coin toss between the Kingston Yellow Jackets and the Signal Mountain Eagles.
Captains are on the field, staring at each other across the field. I think we're going to have a big-time game right here tonight.
Captains for Kingston tonight, number 75, Seth Strahan, number 3, Cooper Webb, number 2, quarterback Kane Collins, and number 54, Cameron Basler. Captains for Signal Mountain, number 5, Zach McCarthy. Number 29, Logan Farr. Number 33, Aiden Atkins. Those are your captains for tonight's game. And number 7.
We want to defer. You want to defer? Okay, right here.
They're trying to figure out which way they want to line up.
Yeah, I could.
Kingston wins the toss. They'll defer to the second half, so they'll be kicking off. And we're just about to get this game underway, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. It's always good for those people that can't get out and come to the game, especially when it gets darker earlier. Thankful BBB provides a way to watch these games, so we're thankful for that. And we're about to bring you the Davis Funeral Home kickoff. Davis Funeral Homes, 2 locations to serve you, 715 Morgan Avenue and 211 Old Mills Road in Wartburg. 2 locations, Harriman and Wartburg. Give them a call today at 865-882-2000 or 423-346-2011. They support you, and your time of need does not end after the funeral service. That's the Davis Funeral Home, our kickoff sponsor for tonight. And here come the Yellow Jackets. Cheerleaders got to be careful.
There's some big old boys running through there, Trace.
And now Signal Mountain gets ready to take the field. And they're welcomed by a decent applause. It's a tough travel from Signal Mountain to Kingston.
Yeah, pretty tough, especially probably, I'm assuming, during a fall break period, but glad to see the Signal Mountain band travel with them. That's always a good thing, provides a better environment. So I think we're in for a big game. But like you said, thank you to all of our sponsors. There's a lot of stuff going on that people just can't get out of the house. A lot of the older generation is, can't really get out in crowds, so they're staying in. So thank you. No, don't want to. They want to be out, but they can't. And fortunately, we have some awesome sponsors that bring the games to the family members so they can witness their loved ones play the game they love.
The Yellow Jackets take the field to kick off Signal Mountain. 2 men deep to receive.
2010 state champion Signal Mountain.
Interesting.
Just 11 years removed. It was AA.
Coach Pankey looks ready. If you're watching him on this screen, he's fired up. He try not to look at the camera.
I don't think Coach Pankey is never not fired up. 2010 was when they won the state championship, so about 11 years removed. So very traditional. Well, not really traditional because they're somewhat of a new program, but still had a lot of success. Yeah, the first program started in 2009 and won a state championship the year after, then moved up classification after that.